Christmas gospel account in John chapter 1. There came a man who was sent from God. His name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all men might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to every man was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who received him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision or a husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory he has as the only begotten from the Father, full of grace and truth. John testifies concerning him. He cries out, saying, "This was he of whom I said, 'He who comes after me has surpassed me, because he was before me.'" From the fullness of his grace we have all received one blessing after another. For the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God, but God, the one and only, who is at the Father's side, has made him known. This is the good news of our God. A way to resolve all grudges and to mend broken relationships. That's the way that I saw this promoted, and it takes place on Christmas Day each year. Got a guess at what this gathering could be that would have such high and noble aspirations as that? I'll give you a glimpse here, and then I'll let you decide if you think it really will work to mend wounded relationships. Go ahead, click one for us. This is Santo Tomas, capital city of one of the provinces in Peru. It began there, and the custom has picked up in different villages and different cities out from there, and it's gathered some following on the internet as well. It's called Takanakui. Men, women, and children can settle grudges by calling each other out to have a fight. And then after, they are to go forward and consider everything resolved. And they enter the new year then, they move forward into the new year together. What do you think? You think that's going to really work to resolve wounded and broken relationships? Lots of people on the internet rave about the idea. They think this looks great, comments that they make. I found a few comments, though, that I think actually give a better assessment of what the outcome would be. Go ahead and click for us. One man wrote, "But if someone whooped me, I would have another grudge. It would be an infinite whooping grudge town, where all anybody does is fight." What do you think? Click one more for us. Another man put the comment, "And if I hold grudges against someone, and then I takanakui him, does it bring relief or make it worse?" Can takanakui justice, because that's really what it's about, right? Getting and seeing justice. Can that really do anything to bring people together, to mend relationships that were wounded and broken? I suppose we all understand the desire to see justice, right? Justice should rightly be delivered, but if doling out justice to wrongdoers is all that is happening, is that going to work as a way to bring broken relationships back together? I click one more. You know, Christmas is really God's way to mend a broken relationship. The broken relationship between all of us sinners and Himself. We caused the break. You know how all it takes is just one sin. Because our holy God can't have sin remain with Him. And we've all sinned. So think this through. All that God can do to remain true to Himself and carry out His justice is to punish sin. But if that's all there is to the story, we'd be lost. We'd have to be separated from Him forever, the curse of hell. So, what did our holy God do seeing our dilemma? There was one way to deliver the just punishment for sin that he must carry out, and at the same time also offer a restored relationship between Himself and us sinners. How could that be? He would settle the wrongs against him by delivering the blow of His justice upon Himself. You see? Go ahead and click. If He takes the punishment of hell, then His justice is carried out. The punishment is delivered, but it need not be delivered upon us. And so, God came. Click once more for us. The Word became flesh and made His dwelling among us. We have seen His glory, the glory of God's one and only, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. What did God give you for Christmas? Himself. He became you. He was living in glory eternal, in the peace and bliss of heaven, and He said, it's the time. I'm going to now go and live in the world that I created. And I'm going to do it the same way that all of them enter life. I'm going to be confined first to the womb of a mother, and then go through the fragile state of infancy. I'm going to go through childhood. I'm going to experience it all. I'm going to be you, He said, for all of you. So that then the Almighty Judge in heaven, I say to Him, Almighty Judge in heaven, you're looking for humanity? Here I am. Count my perfect life for them. And the justice that needs to be doled out for the sin that they've all committed, here I am. I'm them. I'll take that punishment of hell so that the guilt is washed away from them forever. And so, click once more. From verse 12 we heard, to those who believed in His name, He gave the right to become children of God. Sadly, many won't hear, won't trust God's solution. They turn other places. They go on or go off, putting their trust in other efforts in order to try to make things right, mend the relationship between God and us sinful human beings. Or some of them think there's nothing that needs to be mended. I'm good just the way I am. God's happy with me without any other need for a solution. And others still say they don't believe God exists at all. But God does exist. And the punishment that sin deserves is real. And no effort on the part of people can make things right in the relationship between Him, our holy God, and us sinners. Praise God that He, our eternal God, came. He, our holy God, stepped into human flesh. He carried to completion everything to make things right between us and Him. What a wonderful God we have, one who gives peace and life the full rights of being his son, his daughter, to all who believe that he came, he did what he did to save us, to make us his own. Amen.